The Los Angeles Rams had a thrilling victory in Week 3 against their division rival, San Francisco 49ers. Come from behind victory, and they are going to now be going up against the first overall pick in Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears, who had a tough loss in Week 3 against the Indianapolis Colts. It's going to be a great matchup between the Rams and the Bears, and we're going to break down the game, the matchups within the game that you need to watch. At the very end of the video, provide our predictions on who we think is going to win this game and why. But before we get into that, right now we do have a goal of trying to get to 100 new subscribers during this Week 4 prediction video series. And so any help is greatly appreciated. So if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe to the Tracy Take. Leave a like and a comment. Let us know who you think is going to win this game and why. And so, Brian, crazy game for the Rams here. I don't really think anybody was expecting them to win this game, even though the San Francisco 49ers were banged up. Rams were equally as banged up, not having Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua as well. Offensive line has had a bunch of injuries also as well that many people have noted on our comments channel as well, which we greatly appreciate. But so for them to come out with a victory, go 1-2, that's obviously a big difference than 0-3. And then going up against a Chicago Bears team with Caleb Williams, who watching the game today as well, you can see the flashes of like what could be, especially with him and Roman Dunze. Kind of scary to think about it on how easy that connection was at times. But then there was also then just some horrible interceptions as well by Caleb Williams, things that you expect from a rookie quarterback. And so kind of with that being said, and both these teams 1-2 going into this Week 4 matchup, what are some of your thoughts on both these teams at this point in the season?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the Rams, they're a veteran-led team with a lot of young pieces. So you look, Matthew Stafford doing this for a while. Some of the guys in the offensive line have been doing this for a while. And then I think you look at the secondary, those guys have been doing it for a while. So they're a very smart team. They don't make a lot of mistakes. The problem is right now they're just really banged up, and a lot of their big playmakers are out. I know what's his name? The running back, Williams.
The Rams? Kyron Williams.
Kyron Williams. Yeah, I kept wanting to say like Jatavian Williams, but I don't know. Kyron Williams, he had a really good game against the 49ers today, kind of stepping up in the absence of some of the missing pieces. But all in all, like this is just a good Rams team. The 49ers kind of let them back in this one. And yeah, like they made the plays when they needed it, and they didn't miss the field goals and whatnot. So yeah, they're a good team, very banged up at this point with Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and some of the offensive line pieces that you mentioned being out. But yeah, I think going up against a team like Chicago that's going to make mistakes, I think this is a very winnable game for the Rams. And then kind of getting into Chicago, Chicago didn't run the ball well against a poor run defense, I think, in Indianapolis. They did throw the ball well down the field. However, I did feel like Caleb Williams still is just making too many mistakes. I feel like that's a pretty unanimous thought. If you watch the Chicago Bears game, he still, to me, is playing like he's at USC against Stanford, where he can just kind of run around for 8 seconds and then chuck a ball into double coverage and fit it into that window. And to me, I think he just needs that time to just progress and start taking the slant routes and the underneath stuff instead of trying to scramble and force stuff down the field. Because at times it does work, and when it does work, it looks great. But then the other times when it doesn't work, it's extremely detrimental to his team.
Yeah, and Caleb Williams went to USC. So just to quickly correct that there. And so
what did I say?
Stanford.
No, USC playing against Stanford.
Oh, okay. I missed that part. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just reiterating the fact that he went to USC. But I agree with you there, though, where some of that improvisation looks amazing, but then it's not college. And so I think that's kind of where those learning kind of just those growing pains come in. And it's funny, too, kind of watching both Caleb Williams and Anthony Richardson go against one another. You kind of see, like, holy cow, these guys are freaking talented. But they can be a little bit of a wild card at times to the detriment of themselves and the team. But super fun to watch either way. This game's going to be a lot of fun to watch with the Rams and the Bears. And so kind of move into that game. But before we do that, if you do like to put a couple bucks down on Rams or Bears games, check the link down below in the description box. BetUS has a bunch of great promotions going on right now for first-time players, including looking at the odds for this game or any of the other games in the week 4 for the NFL. And it's going to be very interesting to see who is going to be the favorite coming into this game. Maybe the Bears by a point, but I'm looking at this as of the recording of this video, and this is pretty much a pick-em game. The Rams are pretty banged up coming into this game, but that being said, though, they can still put a good quality team out on the field. Sean McVay is still a great coach. And you go look at the Bears talent-wise, they have all the talent in the world, but there is still the inconsistency, coming from Caleb Williams and the team. And to me, I kind of look at this. I find this fascinating just because statistically, the Chicago Bears are one of the worst offenses in the league, 30th overall in total passing yards. In total yards, 25th in passing yards, 30th in rushing offense. And they're going to be going up against, statistically, one of the worst teams in the league, in the Los Angeles Rams defense, worse in overall yards allowed per game, 30th overall in passing yards allowed, and 30th in rushing yards allowed. So the X factor to me, I think, is just going to be this Bears offense. Can they rise to the occasion against a team that has given up a lot of yards, a lot of opportunities to some of these other teams, compared to 148 total yards in their Week 1 game? That was Caleb Williams' first game against the Tennessee defense, which is good. I would say is good. Improved a little bit to 205 yards against Houston. Now improved a lot, I will say, against Indianapolis with nearly 400 yards. So maybe there is still some kind of fluctuation that still needs to be had in kind of the Bears' overall ranking and their overall potential. But there's also still kind of some of those, I think, dud capabilities and some of those inconsistencies, which can kind of go up, can affect their overall performance. So can the Bears rise to the occasion? Can they run the ball? If they can run the ball and they can figure out the run, which I'm kind of shocked from a Bears team who was one of the top rushing teams last year, just overall with the running back by committee type stuff that they had with Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson, and then they had one other guy as well. I'm blanking because I know they have DeAndre Swift now, but if they can figure that out, though, then it's only going to take the pressure off of Caleb Williams and going to open things up more for DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, etc. And so, on the flip side, then can the Rams be healthy enough, to take it to this Bears offense, take it to this Bears defense, which can be vulnerable at times, but still actually put up some pretty good performances throughout the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, and that to me, I think, is just going to be what it comes down to. Who wins in the trenches? Can this Rams team take advantage of the inevitable Caleb Williams turnover? Can Caleb Williams prevent that turnover or make up for it by throwing, by making plays outside of it and not letting that be the defining point of the game like he did in this Colts game? So it's going to be a really fun game to watch. I really have no idea who's going to come out ahead. I could see lots of situations playing out in this game because I think both of these teams have weaknesses. They have some strengths, and we'll just kind of have to see who does that. So with that being said, let's quickly get into predictions here. And I mean, I'll start it off. I'm probably going to go with the Rams. I just trust Matt Stafford and this Rams coaching staff way more than I do Chicago's. Caleb Williams, that turnover is most likely going to come. It's most likely going to be at a bad time. And I think that is the perfect opportunity for Matt Stafford and this Rams team to score a touchdown. And I think those are going to be hard to come by in this matchup. Yeah, no,
this is going to be one I'm going to go back and forth throughout the week. To me, I'm kind of looking at this I will say statistically, and only through 3 games throughout the season so far, this is one of the Bears defense is top 10 as well. And we've seen that even going back to last year as well. And I see this, they have a banged up, the Rams have a banged up offensive line. They're without their top two weapons. And then also, too, if I'm not mistaken, I still believe Tyler Higbee is going to be out for this game as well. Pretty sure he's on the PUP list. And so this will be at home. First home game back for Caleb Williams from week 1 as well. I am actually going to go with Chicago here, being at home. But I'm with you, though. It's going to be – I feel like I'm the one taking a risk on this one here. I think eventually they're going to figure out this running game. And when they do, I think this offense can take off because with Caleb Williams' improvisation capabilities, and then with the overall receiving talent from DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, as I've already mentioned a bunch, that I think we can see this team take it to the next level. Because as of right now, I mean, they've just absolutely atrocious when it comes to running the ball, 30th overall in rushing, just averaging just over 72 yards per game, which is just not good. So even too against the Colts defense today as well, they only put up 63 rushing yards against the Colts defense, which gave up over 200 in their first 2 games. Now that was against Houston and also against Green Bay, but still, you think that they would at least be able to get to like 100. You know, put something up that would be somewhat respectable. So, but I'm going to go with Chicago here. We're going to disagree on this one. And also it's just fun just to disagree with you. And so either way, I think this is going to be a very unique game for both these teams to wrap up September.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and wrap this one up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. We disagree on this matchup. Leave a comment down below on who you think is going to come out ahead. Will it be the Los Angeles Rams? Will it be the Chicago Bears? And on that, we'll see you guys next time.